What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. What a time to be a deli enjoyer. They've recently gotten placed into S tier by several pros on their tier list, or some other folks that are doing tier lists out there. This isn't going to be a tier list. I've made similar build order videos to this in the past, but I've been trying some new things that I wanted to upload for you guys. Maybe get some of your opinions on it. If this is your first time on the channel, I do post a lot of deli gameplay. I hover around 1400 elo, high diamond, low conqueror. So this is going to be a pretty basic build into feudal aggression with a nice transition into castle age using the House of Learning. So if you're looking to climb ranks, if you're gold looking to get platinum, diamond, this should be a pretty good start. Beyond that, it's going to be real fluid as far as what's happening in game. But this will be a good baseline. I do also have a build I've been using against the more greedy civs, the 2TC plus civs. A lot of success against the Abbasids so far this season. So if I get 20 likes on this video, I'll go ahead and post that one too, so just let me know. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, with our 6 starting builds, we're going to move out towards the berries. The first 5 are going to take this straggler tree down, chop 50 wood, and then they're going to move over and complete the mill. So it'll be the 6 starting on food. First build that's going to come out, we're going to build the mosque and then move shift Q from the mosque to the gold, and then our next build that comes out is going to go to the gold. So we'll have our 2 on gold, 6 on food, and we'll rally 3 more to food. Not really going to cover scouting for these purposes. Now the straggler tree, you want to try to pick the one that's pretty close to the berries, because we're going to age up with 4 from berries. Also ideally close to that straggler tree, so like right here, so that once they complete the age up, I'm going to come back to the straggler tree and grab 40 more wood before we go back to the berries. And with our mill, ideally you want to try to drop it on as many of these berry bundles as you can. Ideally I'd be in the corner here, but if this were a real game, I wouldn't want my mill that far out where it's not covered by the TC. So I just dropped it next to both of these, and then I'm actually going to shift queue the bills on the first berry bush over to the next one. Otherwise, a lot of times they'll go to that center one. That does create quite a bit more walking time. So once we get to 9 on food, then we'll rally our next. We'll have 4 queued up, rallied to another straggler tree that ideally would be close to whatever wood line we're going to move to. So just little efficiencies to try to cut down on time, because it all adds up, especially if we're on some type of timing where we want to try to get a Ghazi across the map, where maybe they're trying to get a tower or they're trying to get a wall up. So we want to try to beat that as efficiently as we can. And a couple of different variations of once we hit age 2, whether we go production first or blacksmiths first. I think that right now, it's kind of as a general rule, again, to keep it simple, you can't really go wrong dropping the stable first. Dropping the stable and getting a Ghazi out right away. You will see some variations of this opening. I mean, if you're watching some of the pro games where they'll have 10 on food, 3 on gold, but when they go to age up, they got to shift bills around onto wood and some walking time there, which of course they're all really good, right? And they can manage that, but they might get to age 2 slightly faster. But as far as when they're going to get production down or be able to get units out, this is going to be really competitive with those timings, as you'll see here. Did overgather just slightly on food, but that was because we had some pretty efficient walking times here. But you'll see this is actually going to be a pretty good age up time. Now, of course, we did queue up our technologies in our mill and our mosque. We got wheelbarrow queued up first always. And in the mosque, we got the efficient production, which is already in. That's going to allow us to be able to drop scholars into our production buildings and get that double production on those. So 1 stable is really like 2, right? We get the Ghazis in like 11 seconds. All right, first 3 on the wood. That 4th one I'm actually going to send to the wood line and build the lumber camp. And we're just going to start rallying that way. We're going to rally until we have 8 on wood. I'll drop 1 more onto food for a 10th one. And then we'll just keep going back to wood until we have usually about 15. So that'll allow us to keep dropping our production buildings, blacksmiths, and still creating units, and then kind of gauge from there how the gameplay is going. If it's Ghazi Spearman, we're going to need to be a little more heavy on food. If it's more archers or archer spearmen, we're going to need to be a little heavier on wood. So as we approach about 4 minutes when they should be aging up, we also want to try to scout in a path that's going to take us to their base where we can see what they're aging up with, right? Some civs it doesn't matter so much. Some matter more than others. All right, so we're age 2. It's kind of our checklist, right? So once we hit that, we want to make sure we're queuing up all of our research techs. We want to pause this PD. We don't lose our progress on that, but sanctity is what we want to take priority on here, and then we can queue up scholars. Like I said, these 2 on gold should keep this pretty consistent. Yep, so we aged up. I think it was about 408, and then our stable is going to be up and ready to pump right about 5 minutes, which is about where you want to be. So once that's up, we'll drop a scholar in there, and then we can rally Gazis across the map and just try to disrupt. Well, it's interesting maneuver there. So this is the ridiculous AI. They can put up some bit of a fight, but like I said, for the purpose of this video, it's more so just to kind of see the order. And like I said, kind of a general build that you should be able to use pretty effectively on the ladder. So once we got the stable up, our next one's going to be the blacksmith, because we do want to start getting those free technologies. So first Gazi is out. Now, depending on the game flow and what's happening, would kind of dictate where we go from here as far as production or more blacksmiths. If we see that they are queuing units, especially somebody aggressive, if it were Council Hall, for example, or French with the school cavalry, I might drop a barracks before I drop this blacksmith, just to make life a little easier. You could probably go blacksmith and defend, but it's a little harder, right? So this is up. Generally, we're going to go iron undermesh first. Again, that can kind of depend, but for the most part, it's going to be iron undermesh, just in case if you're raiding under any towers or going under the TC, or if you're up against any archers, it's going to save a lot of damage once that comes in. All right, so we're going to push him off. We're not going to try to cheese him too much here. So we're just going to get some units out to at least establish some kind of map control so that we can do what we want to do. Once I've gotten to where we're going to have 5 scholars total, I'm going to move off the gold to the wood. And then once we take the sacred sites, we're going to be just pumping gold anyway. Alright, so we had scouted the barracks. I think we maybe saw a spearman over there, so we went ahead. We're dropping the archery range. And the next thing we want to do is get our second blacksmith, which is on the way up here. So sanctity is in, or just about in. So we're already moving our scholars out to the sacred sites. Probably could have done that a couple seconds sooner. But if you can get out to the sacred sites at around 7:20-ish, it's pretty good timing. So there are a lot of games where you're going to be able to move out uncontested, and if you're playing civs that are going to try to turtle or go multiple TCs, they're going to give that for free. So just move out and take them all at the same time. And then once it's starting to look like we are going to get those, that's when we'll go and drop our market. Other than scholars, we don't really have a whole lot to use gold on in Feudal. So again, the game tempo kind of dictate what we use that for. Second blacksmith is down. We're going steeled arrow, bloomery first, followed by siege engineering. Again, if it's something where you're making a push and you need to drop rams, we can do siege engineering earlier. I'm gonna move out onto the first berries. We've got pro scouts that'll be coming in here before too long, so we're gonna drop a second stable and start working on getting a few scouts out. Now, a lot of times with Delhi, you are going to have map control, so it's Pro Scouts is nice. Of course, you can bring the deer under your TC. I would try to initially, if we've got that map control, try to steal a deer from your opponent's side. That's going to hurt them probably more than it helps you, right? Because you're going to have the freedom to kind of move out on the map and be able to take some of these food sources, but if you yank that from them, some of the civs that want to drop a second TC over there, or HRE or French, Jeanne d'Arc that want to move out onto the food sources, you can steal that from them, and it does a lot of damage if they have to transition to farms earlier. So we're going to we're going to make a few more units here just to make sure that we can keep them in their base. But we've got all the sacred sites. I could move those back and garrison them for faster research. I know I'm probably going to be going castle here soon, so I went ahead and moved them out onto the relics. He's got a wolf defending there. So I'm going to take that fight under the influence with all the spears. So we're just going to pull back a little bit. Let's see, we got scholars on 3 of the relics right now, and then this guy's going to move out here just shortly. Now here's where some of the variation comes in from what I've done in the past. As we're looking to get castle, I'm going to go ahead and move to stone now. And then once we age up, I'm going to go with the House of Learning, and we're going to look for a second TC as opposed to a keep for village fortresses. I do think House of Learning scales much better into the late game, and then just being able to drop a TC and start producing vills out of that right away and not having to wait for the technology to come in. Again, it's just going to give us a little more tempo if it is something that's moving into the late game. We'll kind of go through some of those techs as that is coming up. You can see we are scaling now. I've got some of my scouts moving out towards those deer on his side. This pro scouts is almost in. He's got a few units here, not too bad. Yeah, not focused so much on the micro or the fights here. But generally you want to hold these up, right, and keep some of that map control if you can. That's a big advantage of Delhi, is being able to mass as many units as they can, as quick as they can. Right. It's not like HRE where they're super valuable, but having that map presence is valuable. So you don't want to take bad fights and lose your units either. I mean, that's never a good thing. Alright, so most of our techs are in. Blacksmith techs are still coming in. Right, you can see we're floating a little bit of wood, but that's going to be the TC once we age up. And depending how long Feudal goes, I mean, that could come down before we go castle as well. Alright, so we're going to pull them off wood. These are going to go back to wood, and then guys off stone that are building this are going to build my second TC. Just drop it over here on the wood and the deer. Going to move that back a little bit, maybe. Alright, then we're yoinking his deer here. So that feels good. Alright, we dropped a couple more production buildings with some of that extra wood too. And then as we get into castle, we'll have some extra wood because we're going to have more villas now. We can just start really ramping up production. And we won't need much on gold for a while. Because again, I'm going to pause it here for a second. We've got the 3 sacred sites. There's 125 gold a minute each. So that's 375 right there. It's like 9 vills with no TC or food investment. So just instant payoff. And that's one of the big advantages of Delhi and why they're able to pump so many units from Feudal. Just kind of abuse that market. And either pour it into units or again, just pour it into aging up to castle. So we're there now. It's kind of where each time you hit an age, it's kind of a checklist you want to go through. So we want to make sure we queue up all of our techs, right? So we get them for free. You got to make sure you take advantage of that. I'm going to go with honed blades first. It's going to give the +3 attack on your men-at-arms, your lancers. And as we do that, we're going to move into more barracks here too. We'll go with the elephant tech next, 10% faster, and then hardy rations. That's a great one, especially if the game goes later. It's going to scale a lot better with your vills as you get a higher vill count, especially for your wood and your food vills. So it's going to cut down on the walking time because it can carry, what is it, 10 more? Yeah, +10 carry on resources. Yeah, we've got the rest of the scholars coming in with relics as well. Just got the 5th one back here. So if we grab all 5 of those, that's another 80 each, so another 400 gold a minute. So you got 400 gold from the relics, 375 from the sacred sites. So what is it? Yeah, give or take 18, 19 vills, right, with no investment. So huge boom for the Delhi. All right, so we got both TCs up and pumping now. We got units coming. No elephants just yet. That's kind of the talk of the town lately, right? The Delhi elephants, the melephants. Especially in low numbers, they're just so hard to counter. He's got H2 men-at-arms now. We're just going to kind of clean that up. right? But we got free techs coming in from Blacksmith. Our eco techs are coming in. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, so that one's out of the influence. I just used the hotkey for that, but you see we're stacking up deer under our TC, still rallying to wood. That's just going to make it that much easier to transition to farms as we need to. Even though we've got deer and berries over here, we're just going to be swimming in resources here soon. Yep, more free techs here. And again, a little heavy on gold now with everything that's in. I don't need quite that many. Yeah, I mean, from here, we've got plenty of villas so we can move around. You know, now we can take stone if we want to go and drop keeps. Reason I've kind of transitioned to House of Learning from Compound of the Defender now is with the new siege changes in Season 9. Can make it a little harder to defend keeps, especially the aggressive keeps, where normally if I'm ahead and I get castle first and I've already got enough stone, I can come drop a keep right in his face, right? Shut down that wood line, he has no access to this, and it's pretty much GG. Where now, you know, if he goes castle with the white tower behind it, he can just start dropping trebs and treb it down, and I can't really fight into his base to protect it. Yeah, so we got the elephant on the scene. It's pretty much GG from here now, right? We got 2 more coming. So you can see, he's still up 8 bills, and we've got a huge eco lead, so 23, almost 3,000 resource per minute. He's at like 2,100, right, on an 8 bill advantage. And if you come out aggressive and don't take bad fights, you'll find yourself in this situation quite often where it's your game to lose, right? Whether, you know, you have the sacred sites and you're going to force them out of their base, kind of letting them decap these just to play on a bit here. Where you're going to make them take a fight. Or if they're still just turtled up back there and it's going to be hard to get in and cause any damage. I mean, we could go straight to imp here as well. I mean, I've got plenty of production up. Drop some scholars in there. I can move all these off wood, go to food. I've got plenty of gold coming in. This could go straight to imp. There's a lot of builds out there now. I think Coordinates just had one that was, it's like a straight Imperial build into the tower cannon elephants, right? Really strong if they let you get away with it, if they don't bring any pressure. You just gotta get there. Let's see. Now we've got him locked in his base. It'd be pretty easy to move back out, recapture the sacred sites. We've got Scholar garrisoned up to get some of these techs to come in a little quicker. We've already got home blades, and our elephants are going to be moving a little quicker too. Right, from here we pretty much play out. It's GG. We're going to go just mow everything down with these elephants. There's not going to be a whole lot he can do about it. Yeah, like I said, as far as you know, when you're dropping your first or second blacksmith or what production you're dropping down, that's going to be really dictated by the pace of the game and what your opponent's doing too. But that opening, like I said, dropping the stable first, getting Gazis out, seeing what kind of reaction they go with, and then dropping your next production accordingly, snagging the sacred sites and just launching into the castle. It's going to be pretty tough to deal with on the ladder at about any level, right? A lot of talk out there, especially on Reddit, as far as people calling for nerfs to Delhi. I don't know if that's really needed at this point. I think people will kind of figure out how to counter. They've got some bad matchups. Any civs that have men-at-arms in H2 still give them trouble. But they are a lot of fun. They make you get out on the map, keep you pretty active. So if you enjoy that, I think you'll have a lot of fun playing Delhi. Let's play this out real quick. Cool. So we'll call it there. So there you have it, guys. If you stuck around, I appreciate it. Let me know what you think of the second TC versus dropping a keep. Still playing around with it, but so far so good. And again, if this video gets 20 likes, I'll drop a video just showing the build I used to punish those 2 TC openers that have been going well so far. And yeah, feel free to leave a follow on the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.